Hi, this is Professor Fikes, and I want to explain a problem that many of you are talking about whenever you try to run the instruction file and you don't see the screenshots. So let me explain the reason that you're not. Right now, I'm in Dropbox.com. Now, this is Dropboxonline.com. So you're not. This is not a web server, and that's your problem. You're not understanding that Dropbox is not a web server. All Dropbox is a file server. Simply that means that it stores files and it lets you download files, it lets you upload files, it lets you share files, but there is no intent on the part of Dropbox to be a web server. So for instance, if I come down here, say to week 7, and in my week 7 folder I see the instructions.html. If I click that, it's going to open the file and I can see the file and I can see all the words, I can see all the links, but I'm not ever going to see an image file because here is where I'm seeing an alt tag right here for screenshot 3, but I'm not ever going to see that file because the code inside of this page is designed to show a picture that's found in a certain folder. Now let me explain that this way. You should be familiar by now with brackets, and so I'll open brackets and I will open the file here in Dropbox on my computer. So I'm going to go down here to that same file that's on my computer. Now if I double click this file, the instructions.html, and open it, now I can see the images because this HTML file is on my local computer. It just happens to be sitting inside of the Dropbox program that I downloaded and installed on my computer. And so since it's on my local computer, and since your local computer has the capability to run web pages in your local browser, then your local computer operates a lot like a web server. When I click on the link, it sends information to my computer that says show me all of the code that's inside this file, as well as show me all of the pictures that have links in them. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this week 7 instructions and drag it up into Dropbox, into brackets, and I will just scroll down and you can see all the code here. So here is the code right here for that image file that you see when you first come in, this little cartoon about when geeks go to the optometrist. So there's the code for this, and you will notice right away that if you look at the source attribute here, it says that there is a folder called images, and that inside of that there is a file called geek-optometrist.png. And if I go to that folder of images, then there is a file in here called, what's the name of that? Geek Optometrist. Right there. Double click it, open it up in my image viewer, and there is that single image. And then I can look at other screenshots that I have in this folder simply by clicking around through that. This is on a Windows 10 machine. If you're on a Mac, it's going to look some different. But the point is that on your local computer, if you have all of the HTML files and you have that images folder, and they're in the proper place on your local computer, then when you click to open up that file, you're going to see everything. All the screenshots will be here. So here's one right here. There's a screenshot. There's a screenshot. There's a screenshot. Screenshot, screenshot. Your local computer operates like a web server, but Dropbox does not, and it's not intended ever to be a web server. Now, what some of you probably have is maybe something like the Dropbox app. So I did this too. I went to the Windows Store and I just downloaded the Dropbox app that comes with Windows 10. And if I scroll down through here, to this student templates file that I keep. Here's Windows 7. Here's that file. If I click the file, open it up, it's going to show me all the code, but it's not going to show me anything else. Notice that here inside of the Dropbox app, I can see the HTML file, and here's that images folder right there where it's supposed to be. There's all the images just like they're supposed to be. But opening it up inside of Dropbox, whether it's the Dropbox desktop app or whether it's Dropbox Online, Dropbox is not a web server. It will never show you the images the way that you're supposed to see them either on a web server or on your local computer. What you absolutely must do is to get your files from Dropbox and download these to your local computer. And when you get that done, then here inside of my copy of the Windows File Explorer, I can see that I have the Dropbox installed here. This is the desktop app. It's installed. And here I have all of these files and folders that are stored in my Dropbox Online. And here are all of your assignments. There's all of your folders from this term. And so this is how I can see what you've done. I won't do it here to embarrass anybody, but if I were to open up your folder, then you would see there's all the folders. And then when you place a file inside one of these folders, then I can see it. But that's because Dropbox is simply sharing these files back and forth, but there is never any way at all that we're going to be able to make these files open up if we're online at Dropbox.com or if we're using the Dropbox app like we did here. Now, some of you may have gone to Dropbox.com and you can come here and scroll. Let's see, where is it? I have to go home, and there is a place where you can download the actual Dropbox app, and I probably would have to log out in order to get to the place that would show you. But in Dropbox.com, there is a place where you can actually download the Dropbox app that comes to your computer from Dropbox. And if you install that on your computer, then you will see a folder that looks just like this in your File Explorer. And this is everything that you have in Dropbox. And when you place something in here, it will automatically sync up to the folder that you have here at Dropbox.com. Let me just show you that. I'm going to take a file and let's just create one here. I'll just take this same file, I'll save as, and I'm going to go back to this same, see, I'm in my local computer, Jimmy Fikes, and Dropbox, and I'm going to come down to that folder called Templates Week 7, and this Week 7 instructions, I'll just call this -2.html, and when I hit enter to save that file into my Windows Explorer, Week 7, there is that file -2. Now if I come back up and look at Dropbox.com online, there I see the -2.html. If I click on it, I'm not going to see any screenshots because you cannot expect Dropbox.com to work like a web server, because Dropbox.com is simply a file server that enables you to share files with other people. You absolutely must be downloading everything that you see in Dropbox. You'd have to download the instructions HTML file, you'd have to download the images HTML file, you'd have to the images folder, I'm sorry, and the styles folder. You'd have to download all of this to your local computer in order to make them run right. Or what you can do is go to Dropbox.com. Let me just see if I can log out here and get this to work correctly. Sign out. Yeah. So then if I scroll down, then I should be able to find a place here for downloads. I'll tell you what, the fastest way is probably go to Chrome and just type get Dropbox, and there it is, Dropbox.com install. So it says go to the download. This is what I was looking for. If you come to getdropbox.com or get Dropbox, it'll bring you right here, and then you download this program and it gets installed on your computer, and then in your Windows File Explorer, then you'll be able to see it right here in your navigation pane of the File Explorer, and anything you place inside of a folder here, like this -2.html, will automatically sync up to Dropbox.com online, and as soon as you place it in your folder, as I showed you just a moment ago, you'll be able to see it online. So this is the difference between Dropbox and using your local computer or using a web server for seeing those screenshots. If you're not seeing the screenshots, it's simply because you don't understand that Dropbox is simply a file server, and what you have to do is download the Dropbox folder to your computer or manually download all of those files and folders to your local computer. If you do download them manually, then you're going to have to upload them manually to Dropbox.com for me to be able to see them. If you place it inside of your weekly folder in Dropbox that's installed to your computer like a regular application, then as soon as you place this file here, then it will sync, and then I'll be able to see it. But if you don't put Dropbox on your local computer, then I won't see anything until you manually upload that to the Dropbox.com folder. Hope this helps.